This is Kal Kat, the Kal Kat Star. Watching yet another Lower Decks episode, Much Ado About Boimler, who has acid reflux. This is kind of like IBS. Oh, what did I have? So, yeah, the Kal Kat. The guy's the Kal Kat character. Anyway, but we've been over that before. So in this episode we have a secret mission going on, B-plot, which doesn't go anywhere. We have Rutherford and Boimler and Tendi testing a transporter thing. The transporter thing turns Boimler into out of phase. There's a 3-armed alien from the original Star Trek animated series in it who has an evil laugh, similar to a Kal Kat character. But there's also a freak planet, and there's 3 people in the freak planet. There's a freak planet because Mark's cards. He didn't write this one, but totally it totally is something he would have written. Much Ado About Boimler. So the Tendi has created a polymorphic dog chimera, which is apparently changing shape and doing weird things. There was a funny gag in the beginning where Ransom doesn't want to hear about it, and the dog changes into this mutant spider. It's on the ceiling, and she's all like, "Wake me up if it does anything cool." Oh yeah. But apparently that wasn't cool enough. But yeah, and her captain friend comes to visit the ship and replace the other captain while they're on the mission. They mixed up some of the names. I don't know if Ransom is supposed to be necessarily... I assume she's supposed to be her daughter, but not. It's kind of confusing. But the captain guest is not. Yeah. So yeah, so we have Boimler doing going to the ship, the farm. I think they're referencing some either the Land of Misfit Toys a little bit, which is Rank and Bash. It's kind of funny. There's a half-mutated, screwed up half-transporter guy. There's a bunch of other mutants. He's wearing a Starfleet uniform from the year before, from the movies. We have a ship that's transformed by an alien thing into the kind of like the artificial life form monster from, which wasn't really a monster actually. It was an artificial life form that turned into a base in Encounter at Farpoint. So there's a reference to that in there. Their ship was actually apparently turned into the alien. They didn't quite get that right. They kind of pretend like, oh, the ship was the... Yeah, how did that... If the ship is the alien, didn't they know that? And they had to go rescue the other captain from that ship. And the captain on that ship was, of course, Libby McClanahan from Pine Hill. Which, of course, she's the captain on the other ship, and she and her crew are trapped on the ship. Yeah, because it's a Sicilian ship being flown around by a squid creature. It's a terminal shock, basically. From Silly Trek, Season 1. Wow, they're going back far. So they've apparently got some of the old description stuff from Season 1, and they're using it. Yeah. Now, if at some point this season... they fight a giant Teddy Ruxpin or several Teddy Ruxpins, or they're totally borrowing from like they just went and read the blogs that used to be up for pre-Chimera, and they just copied them. Yeah, because we're not that famous, so they figured, this guy will never notice. Like, oh no, I'm a Trekkie, I noticed. But yeah, if they did fight a Teddy Ruxpin, the Iliop Adventure, that weird Star Trek original series story that was changed into a TNG one, that was us. That was Silly Trek. No one else would have done them fighting a giant Wrath of Khan type Teddy Ruxpin or a out of phase Wessian type of Boimler, the Wessian basically, or going to the yeah. So it's very much silly track, and we had nothing to do with it, which is the weirdest thing. And I know that the fans are gonna be all like, "Oh no, he totally had something to do with it." Yeah, he just doesn't want to say. No. It's a coincidence, an incredible coincidence. Yeah, if they actually encounter Cillians at some point, which they almost did when they went to that ship with the alien they were flying around, spaceship. Nod to encounter at Farpoint. Yeah, and then the other one was the farm, and got to think of like a special planet or whatever. Yeah, he tries to. Boimler tries to get a mutiny when he gets on the farmer, and he tries to. It's the alien. Boxcar Children slash. It's the City of Lost Souls. Little slash nod to various sci-fi tropes. The Lost Misfit Crews kind of thing, which could be its own thing, really. It's all metaphor because they're lost. They do have some interesting dialogue that Trek Yards predicted. Give Trek Yards credit. They're all like, so why does Ransom act like she's a screw up? Well, it's because she's trying to over impress. She doesn't want to. She's like Kirk from the original series. She doesn't want to be. She's like Kirk from the original series and doesn't want to be promoted because then so she's got this weird Kirk fixation. Which guess who also has that? The character of Nick Locarno from the Star Trek Chimera also has a Kirk fixation, although he is a captain. So he wouldn't be a screw up. No. He's redeemed, you see, since he went to the Cardassian War and all that. And was redeemed. And Tom Paris is also redeemed because he went on Voyager. So there you go. And they're twin brothers. And yeah, the designs look similar to them, but they're not related. I don't think the other captain lady is her sister. I think it's just her friend from the academy. But yeah, they're very similar design-wise, the characters. The dog talking at the end and floating away was hilarious, and a fun nod to a number of other things. Actually, it's probably a nod to the Q episode where Q turns Dr. Crusher briefly into a collie, and she was like, ruff, ruff, ruff. That's probably what it's a nod to. Because, yeah, McMahon and Smith and somebody else, they're total, they were, yeah. I don't think there was any McMahon's playing silly track back in the day in Starship Locations. I don't think he was a Pine Hill person, but he might as well have been. I don't think there's anybody by that name at Pine Hill, although certainly on the same wavelength. Certainly a fan. So yeah, we could write for Lower Decks easily and get away with it. Read the Cillian Saga online. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my review of Much Ado About Boimler, who is acting in this episode like Silly Kelly from pretty much, and Paris a little bit. But he's supposed to be the purple-haired guy from New Frontiers. That's who he is. Yeah. From the books, the Michael Dan Friedman books. He's supposed to be like him. I'm assuming that his father is him. They're going to meet eventually. Assuming that's going to happen. It'd be hilarious if he said, "You're not my father, it's impossible." They should totally do that gag. But yes, because that would be Star Wars, but that would be very meta. There's a lot of gags in here. Didn't need 3 different stories going on. But yeah, did I actually get to the Trek Yards thing? The Captain Kirk thing? I think I did. Also, the point, more a point on it, Trek Yards predicting that, is that she mentions to her friend who's a captain that she's kind of afraid of commitment as a screw up on the ship, and that's why she's acting like that. So yeah, it's sort of an insecurity complex because she's trying to be overdoing it, getting in trouble. And yeah, because they can't constantly be screw ups, or yeah, they wouldn't be in Starfleet. But yeah, my guess as well as cartoons, they're probably like loony, like the Looney Tunes. So anyway, so there you go.